I think it's all Michael's fault.
John Anderson, the singer from the band Yes, had a big dream. He wanted to make a really special album with lots of other musicians. It was the early 1990s. He wanted to call it Uzlot. This was the start of what would become 1,000 Hands.
Because he got in touch with me about a year ago. He asked me about this project I started 27 years ago, 28 years ago. So it was kind of funny that the tapes got put in my garage and I forgot about them because I was on tour with Yes and recording other albums and things like that.
His idea was simple: get together musicians he loved and mix their talents with his music. He wanted the album to explore all sorts of sounds and mix different styles together.
So Michael, bless him, we got together in California where I live, and he said, why don't you come over to Orlando and do some work on the tapes and make the music happen.
It needs to be a little softer, doesn't it? Like, as far as like sound.
Yeah.
Let me find
You want me to wait a couple before I come in?
No, come in right in. Like a bull in a china shop. It's been an ongoing 27 years later, we're finishing it. It's kind of crazy.
Anderson started recording in a small studio in Los Angeles. He recorded just his voice and guitar, the basic building blocks of his songs. He then sent these recordings to other musicians he wanted to work with. Each musician added their own special touch. The music started to change and grow. His simple idea became a beautiful mix of sounds all woven together by Anderson's voice.
To be as passionate as you are about creating at this stage in your life.
Well, these are the best years because, you know, gosh, what else am I going to do?
So more and more musicians joined the project. There were rock stars like Steve Howe and Alan White, who were also in Yes with Anderson. Famous jazz musician Chick Corea joined in, and so did the amazing violinist Jean-Luc Ponty. Musicians came from all over the world, each with their own style and experience. Anderson wanted this mix of styles. He wanted to make something really special.
It's kind of, I'm creating more than I ever created musically, and I just added some more harmonies here and there. I think I re-sang 2 songs, and so we're sort of finishing the album over the next month or so and trying to get it into the world.
Anderson used some old musical ideas and melodies he hadn't used before. He gave them new life in this project. The album became a link between his past music and what he was doing now. In the studio, he used new technology alongside old instruments. He tried new ways of recording, but the music still had a classic feel. This mix of old and new gave the album a special richness.
Are we sort of ready-ish?
So when you went through your health scare, what did that do to you?
Well, we all go through it. We all go through some problems health-wise. It's part of life, you know. And my wife, God bless her, Jane, my Janie, she saved my life. I just stopped breathing. I had this very strong cough, that wheezing, and all of a sudden I couldn't breathe, and I staggered around in my house, and she helped me, and then they put me in a coma for 4 days, and that was that episode.
The project took many years to finish. Having so many musicians involved was tricky. It was like a maze trying to organize everyone's schedules and ideas. Even though it was difficult, Anderson stuck with his dream. He carefully put all the different parts of the music together, making sure each musician's contribution stood out, while still making it all sound like one album.
It was a very funny year, 2008. I nearly drowned Christmas, the New Year's Eve of 2008 in Kauai, and then I had this episode of stopping breathing, and then I had another problem that came through, and I think it was a combination of things that made me have to have 7 operations, one every 3 weeks over a period of 4 months. And, they just fixed my machine, my innards and stuff. And I've never been healthier or happier in my life.
What about the mental games that must have played with your head?
Well, I didn't worry too much. My wife Janie did, and my kids, of course. But I just thought if I'm able to come out of this alive, and I'll get on with the great work. Because I always think there's great music to create, and there's always great music to be done. And that's what pushes me along, the idea that you can't say, oh, I'm going to go in the studio and make some music that's not as good as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20, 30 years ago. No, I always think the next stuff I'm going to do is just going to be amazing. Because why not? You can't think on any other sort of level, really. Nama, nama, nama,
There are lots of stories from the recording sessions. There was laughter and sometimes arguments, but most of all, everyone loved making music together. One story tells of a power cut during an important recording. They had to work with what little they had, and they ended up making one of the most beautiful and mysterious songs on the album. It shows how unexpected things can happen when you're being creative.
So many people, John, see life, and many people in your industry too, see as a slippery slope. After 30, 40, you're kind of like riding the wave. How do you look?
I'm the opposite way.
What is it like in your 70s?
Well, as I say, I'm healthier. I sing as strong as ever. I have a great friendship with a lot of musicians throughout my career, and I hold them very dear. It's kind of interesting that sometimes you, like a family or a brother, musical brothers, we call each other, and sometimes you don't agree with each other, and sometimes you don't see each other for 2 or 3 years, and then you get back together and so on. So music always brings you together. It's the music that makes it all worthwhile.
Was it a blow when Yes moved on without you?
Well, at the time, I'm a very strong-willed guy. When Chris and Steve decided to throw me out of the band because I wasn't able to tour, I just said, okay, I'm going to go on tour as a solo artist.
Some are born to run, some are born to fly. It's the essence of the love we built in every man. Some are born for fun, some are born for lies. Do not regret a moment living out your life.
Something else that you have discovered that fascinates me, and I don't think enough people really get it because there's a lot of misconceptions about it,
Right.
is meditation, the power of meditation.
Yeah, we all do it in different forms. There's prayer, that put time of silence in your mind, and when you're sitting in a garden or something like that. I just learned to over the years, and I was fortunate enough to get a spiritual teacher to come into my life and teach me how to meditate, sort of very deeply.
After 20 years, 1,000 Hands was finally finished. The album, which showed Anderson's dream, came out in 2019. It wasn't called Uzlot anymore, it had a new name that meant more. The album is a journey through different kinds of music. It mixes rock, jazz, world music and orchestral sounds. Each song shows how powerful it is when people work together. It shows Anderson's belief that music connects everyone.
You're so unlike. Do you see this? Unlike most rock stars, you seem
I don't know that many.
You seem to have a real curiosity and affection for people,
Yeah.
where many try to isolate.
Well, when you get success, you tend to think this is all there is, and then when all of a sudden you realize, the world is full of so many incredible adventures, and you got to learn to experience them.
1,000 Hands got good reviews. Music critics liked how ambitious it was, how big it was, and how many different styles of music it had. Fans loved the album's positive message and the complex sounds. The album is a really important achievement in John Anderson's career. It shows how much he's grown as a musician, a songwriter, and a collaborator. 1,000 Hands reminds us that music can bring people together.
It's like that,
Right.
which many of us miss. You were able to avoid so many traps that your peers have gone through. Drug addiction.
Yeah.
You were never in drug issues, were you?
Not really. No, I used to, I smoked marijuana. I loved that, and I enjoyed drinking. And then all of a sudden I said, okay, I've had enough of that. I'll just get on with life. And then I met my second wife, who was my angel. Okay. Just mix them down into the song now.
Yep.
I think.
What can we learn about life from what John
It's very
Anderson
simple.
has seen?
It's very simple. We only live for one thing and one thing alone, and that is to find the divine energy within you that is connected to the divine energy that surrounds us.
1,000 Hands is more than just an album. It shows how powerful it is to work together. It celebrates different kinds of music. It reminds us that when creative people work together, amazing things can happen. John Anderson's dream, which he had decades ago, finally came true. It inspires other musicians. This album shows that the only limits are the ones we put on ourselves. The only boundaries are the limits of our imagination.
This is the best time of your life.
Yeah. I can't start thinking it's not. It is the best time. It's, for me, more adventurous. I just said, I went on the Avatar thing here in Disney World, me and my wife, and it was like, I can't believe I'm flying with the dragons in Pandora.
You're not afraid.
It was unbelievable.
You're not afraid of new things. You're not afraid to take risks. You're not,
Technology is amazing,
you're not afraid to fail.
No. I've done that many times.
And you have a lot more you want to do and a lot more you want to say.
A lot. Oh, just keep on going.
Yeah. Enjoy life.
Thank you.
Now, knowing that now is the only center to be, to feel, to see, that somehow now brings you to home, brings you to eternity. You are, you see, to know that now love is your heart, love is truly all you need. Never forget that we are friends. Never forget, here I am singing as you play. Memories sing in this lifetime, memories never forgotten. Songs I remember, so close to imagine.